Okay, let's move on and let's start with part A from the left hand. Yeah, so you might notice that we have 4 bars of just 2 half notes. Yeah, 2 C's, and this piece, right, you can see in the beginning we have a time signature. It says 4 quarters. Yeah, so it means we have to count till 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe you know that a half note gets 2 beats. Yeah, so let's just go over the left hand, just the first part, part A, and I'm gonna start counting from the upbeat. All right, so it's gonna be 4, 1, 2. Oh, sorry, forgot to mention the position. Yeah, so it's a C position. This is middle C here, basically right below middle C, and try to play it with your 5th finger. All right, okay, I'm gonna start 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you probably noticed this weird dot right above F in the 5th bar. Yeah, so that means this note is supposed to be played staccato, and it just means that I'll play it a little short. Yeah, I'm not gonna hold it like I would hold common quarter. And usually when I think of staccato, I try to think of, let's say, like if you would touch a really hot pan, right? You would touch it and you would raise your hand right away because it's really hot. So kind of this motion, yeah. Or you can also pretend like you're kind of jumping on a key, yeah. All right, so that was left hand. So let's move on to the right hand. Again, it's C position. This is middle C here, and you don't have to move your hand here. Just all the fingers are gonna be playing the same note. They are placed right now. So first on C, second on D, third on E, fourth on F, and then 5th on G. Okay, I'm gonna start, and don't forget it's an upbeat here, so I'm gonna start from there. So I'm gonna start with my 1st finger on C. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay, great. So there is an interesting rhythm, right, in the right hand, and it starts with pretty easily with quarter notes, and then it changes to the 8th notes. So basically we have the 8th notes are supposed to be played twice as fast as quarter notes. So if you would count 1 and 2 and, yeah, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, yeah, you can actually count them if you have a trouble with that, yeah. But if you don't, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, yeah, really easy. And then once you have dots not above or below but to the side of the note, like in a bar, like in a 2nd bar, it means that it's a dotted half. So it means that we're gonna add up a half of this note quality, yeah. So it's gonna be, instead of 2 beats, it's gonna get 3 beats. So I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, and then again we have staccato notes in the bar, in the 5th bar. Yeah. My keyboard doesn't want to work today. Okay, and then as we mentioned before, the next part is the repeat of the first part. Yeah, and I think it's a pretty accurate repeat without any changes. Let me just check it one more time. Yep, it's the same exact repeat. So let's move to the part B right away. Okay, let's not waste our time. So here I am. It's bar, let's see what bar it is. 11, 12. So it's bar 12. And it's the 4th beat. So you can see that almost all the melodies here start with an upbeat. Yeah? So here, instead of C as an upbeat, we have E as an upbeat. And you also probably noticed that our fingering changed. So instead of C position, yeah, and our 3rd finger on E, we're gonna have our 2nd finger on E, and our 4th finger on G, and then 5th finger on A. Yeah. All right. So let's start with the right hand, and then we're gonna see what's happening in the left hand. So okay, upbeat with the E, with an E. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, let's stop here. This is really unusual that we have 2 intervals here. Yeah, 1 staccato, 1 just a half note. Yeah, it can be tricky first to do this, but just try in a slow tempo. Yeah, or try like this first, just playing those 2 notes, and then staccato, and then so you're going up and down. Okay, let's start one more time. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. All right, and then for further fingers, yeah, when we get to the bar 18th, I suppose, yeah, bar 18th, you can see if we have this position here and we have to go to C, I would suggest that you play 2nd on C and then 3rd on D, or 1st on D. So it's gonna be like this again. So it's 18th bar, right? And we have D position for that section, for B section. So it's gonna be E, D, C, D, or D, C, D with this 3rd finger. Yeah, it's really up on you what feels more comfortable. Okay, so you can see that there's a lot of repeats within this part. Yeah, we have, and then another one, the same, and then yeah, it's all just repeats, so really easy. And then here, bar 18th, it's a new melody here. So let's look at the left hand. What's happening in the part B with the left hand? You can see that it's basically note C, half notes through the whole thing, really easy. And then on bar 18th, we can see that we have C, and then it changes to G. Yeah, half notes. Very easy. Okay, part C. We don't have a left hand, right? That's great. Let's look at the right hand. So it might be a little bit difficult first just to play it in terms of a technique. It can be a little tricky to play this because this part of the hand, the fifth, fourth, and third fingers, well, mostly those two, fourth and fifth, are kind of harder to control, as you might notice. So okay, so we're back to C, position C, and let's look what's happening here. So it's gonna start with G, fifth finger. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So lots of repeats. Almost everything repeats twice. So this is easy. G, F, E, F, G. And if you have a trouble playing this, just try to play it separately, like this, putting your weight on every note. Try to play staccato. Yeah. Try to play it legato, lifting your fingers, and forte. Forte means loud. Yeah. Try to play it with different rhythm. Yeah. And then finally, if you have, let's say, like, if you have some kind of unevenness in between notes and you know where you have it, try to put a space, like try to put a space in between those notes, and then make the space smaller and smaller with every try. So yeah, again, so you're just putting space in between the notes. It can be any notes if you have trouble with this section. If you're not, just keep going. And then the second phrase, it's just ascending scale from G to C. Really easy. And then after part C, we're coming back to A again. Yeah, it's slightly different. The end is actually what's different. Yeah, so let's look at two last bars. Yeah. So let's just look at the right hand. Let's look at the 3 bars instead of 2. Yeah, with an upbeat. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and the reason why we have the dotted half note here in the last bar, it's because an upbeat and last bar are connected. Yeah, so if we had an upbeat that we had a quarter note, right? So in the end, we're gonna subtract that quarter note as if it is 1 bar. Yeah. All right, so you can see that ending is a little different from part A in the beginning. Yeah, so part A in the beginning was like this. Yeah, then here we have in the end. Yeah, so let's look at the left hand. Just those 3 bars in the end. So it's gonna start with C again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So here for the first time we have a triad. Yeah, triad is the chord which consists of 3 or more notes. So 2 notes is an interval. 3 or more, yeah, those are chords. Yeah. So for the first time we have a chord. And again, if you have trouble playing a chord, just you can first play the first interval, yeah, and then the second. Just play them and finally try to feel it with all of your fingers, all 3 fingers. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about dynamics here. So you can see that we have, right in the beginning, we have a marking that says F, yeah? F means forte, and forte means loud, yeah? And sometimes, here we have, right on the top of the second page, we have P, which means piano, which means soft or quiet. Right in the end of the piece, we have poco rit, which means poco ritenuto, and that translates into slowing down a bit. Yeah, just let's say if I would play it, I would just naturally kind of slow down. Yeah, like when you drive in a car, you don't want to stop like all of a sudden, right? Like abruptly. You just want to slow down nicely and smoothly. So it's kind of the same thing. You don't want to just stop like this. Yeah, just too fast, too like unexpected. You just want to slow down a little bit so it feels natural. Yeah, it just feels a little more like nicer. Okay, I think you enjoy. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. And if you have any questions, please text me, call me, and I'll do my best to answer those. And thank you so much for watching. Enjoy.